Have you ever wondered how FXhome went from being a small, little tiny startup company to a worldwide entity, corporation with over 6 million users? Who is the marketing genius behind that? Today, you're going to get to meet her. Welcome to Live with Sensei. I am your host, Jay Haynes, and we are streaming live on YouTube and Twitch TV and Facebook. And she paid me to say all that. No, I'm kidding. She didn't. I would like for you to meet, if you have never met her before, Kirstie Tostevin, the Chief Marketing Manager at FXhome. Welcome.
Can I just say, I found that embarrassing enough the first time we did it when we weren't live.
We started and we went about 3 minutes, and then I realized, oh, I didn't hit the go live button. Sorry about that. So now we're 3 minutes behind already.
Oh gosh.
I apologize for that. Kirstie, I'm gonna have you tell everybody a little bit about yourself. But before we do that, I want to ask my easy win question to everybody who's out there. And I really appreciate everybody being out there waiting around for the time that we weren't on. What do you create with HitFilm? What do you use HitFilm to make? Do you make short films? Do you do gaming videos? Do you whatever it is, put it in the comments or in the chat box for me. I would love to see what you do with HitFilm. So Kirstie, can you just tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yes. Well, wide-ranging question, but so I have been working for FXhome for about 7 years now. I see some people in the comment section who I know are fantastically talented with the software. I myself knew absolutely nothing about software. I got so attracted to the company by what they wanted to do with kind of free and accessible software, and I thought, my God, I have to be part of this. But I was terrible technically myself, so have learned a lot over the last 7 years. Have made some good friends, and seeing people put in what they're doing with HitFilm. Late getting here and luckily didn't miss anything. Yeah, funnily enough, 4K projection. On time.
You didn't miss a thing. Congratulations.
Sorry about that. But no, so yeah, that's really me with FXhome, in that I was just incredibly lucky that in Norwich in the UK, we're not even in London, the place where majority of people know kind of cool tech companies being. We're a little hidden secret in Norwich. Lucky enough to find a company like that here, and just threw myself into it. Absolutely love it. And immense community to be part of. But I myself was in an English literature grad, so I was really nothing. Well, when you do an English literature degree, they tell you to stay away from computers. It's like you should be writing with a quill and don't use the internet. So I felt like I was really put off of it, but now I'm back with a vengeance.
Awesome. All right, let's see here. Here's some answers. Spider Hank says he does magic.
Magic.
Yeah, magic. That's the truth. I can't argue with that. Philip says short films and VFX tests. Yeah.
Phil's actually doing his first short film for a while now, and I can't wait to see that. Ooh. I know he's working on it over the weekends.
How exciting. That is fantastic. Let me see. Solo Samurai, Chris in Australia, does cooking videos, short films, exploring documentaries, VFX, editing, comedy sketches, podcasts. He does a lot.
I do remember your cooking videos, and they are still some of my favorite that I've ever seen. I mean, I'm terrible at cooking, but I would happily follow your cooking videos just for entertainment value.
And of course, Mike does short films and VFX tests and varied fun enhancements for event videos. And they are really, really nice videos. I've seen several of them, actually.
Oh, yes.
Let's see. Gee, I wonder what Bill does. Maybe drone videos. I don't know. Just a thought. That's possible. Just possible.
Very cool.
And oddly enough, HitFilm has also become my secret weapon for photo editing. and actually I use HitFilm to do that too, because I'm more comfortable with it than any other photo editing software. Alexander Films does short films, VFX, vlogs, and editing. Yeah. All right. What else?
Some good stuff in here.
Yep. What else anybody else answer for me? What do you create with HitFilm? So congratulations to FXhome. It is now 20 years old. That's amazing.
It is amazing. Yeah, we had our 20th anniversary on the 5th of March.
Yep,
and yesterday, yeah, and had an absolutely lovely kind of nostalgic meeting with everyone in the company, where we had all of our memories and talked about all of the best parts of FXhome. Watched some very old promo videos for FX Lab and Vision Lab, and took a real trip down memory lane, which I'm sure some of you in the comments will remember. But yeah, it was absolutely lovely. Unfortunately, because we have just so much stuff, incredible stuff going on at the moment, that actually we haven't been able to make too much of a noise about our 20th anniversary, because everything else has taken precedence. But internally, you know, we're all in lockdown obviously still, but we got some little cupcakes delivered and a nice little speech from Josh, and everyone's just so we just feel so privileged to be here, especially considering what's been happening over the last year or so.
Sure.
It's lovely, really lovely.
And really, it's been the past 8 years that it's been, you know, I mean, and that coincidentally, I think, is when you started.
No, honestly, sounded really psychotic. No, it was honestly the us bringing in HitFilm Express, I think, is what really did it. And the funny thing is that when I first joined FXhome, that's what Josh said to me is one of the first things. It's my dream is that we are making free software, because we talk about being accessible, but you still need a bit of a budget, and it frustrates me. So I just want things to be free. So yeah, around probably 6 years ago now, HitFilm Express used to be $149, and we released it for free. And that's when we really started seeing millions and millions of people use it, and our community was growing, and that, I think, was a real turning point for us. And obviously it also got across what was really important to us as a company as well. And I think that's why our community has remained the lovely hub that it is, because that always came through no matter what we did. So I was just very happy to be part of that trajectory, really. It was the right time to come on board.
And that was it. And that's when it all happened. Well, here are a few more things. Let's see. Ken uses it for green screen work.
Oh, yes.
Yep. And it is fabulous for green screen work. Ues, tutorials, VFX, thumbnails, and let's be honest, everything. Ues uses it to to do the laundry and the dishes, and I mean the works, right?
Yeah.
CC Coder uses HitFilm as a stress reliever. See?
Yeah, that's amazing. You know, not only helping with people's creativity, but also mental health. You know, that's great.
Actually, I do. I like to just play with it, you know, and it's amazing what you can do just playing around with stuff. And then you realize, wow, I never knew I could do that. That's really cool. You know, the next thing you know, there you go. Triam, you're not late. You're okay. You're here. Okay, good. Imran Khan, good to see you. Good to see you. Let me see. After things, all my editing, compositing, and VFX, etc. Yeah. That's awesome.
Man. There's so many people I noticed in the comments. This is cool, man. You've got a great nub of a community here. All the best ones.
Yep. Let's see. Tony C is here. Let me see. I'm trying to find everything. Anybody else in there? Brian Reed is in the house. Great to have you guys. Everybody, thank you for being here. So HitFilm, really, you can do all kinds of different things with it. It's not just, just for one thing, but really it has a variety of uses. And that's really seen on your YouTube channel, where you have, we have all these gaming things we can do. We have all these short film things we can do, all these VFX things we can do, vlogging, et cetera, and so on. So what's your favorite thing about HitFilm? What do you think is really brings it to the table?
Oh, I love our chroma key. I think that in terms of it being world leading, there are certain things that I can't say, which are really amazing future projects for us. But chroma key is going to be featuring a lot more in some future stuff. And for me, the fact that you can take, so it still blows my mind, the fact that you can take something into a compositing software and you can just whip out the background like that, add a little bit of spill suppression, and then you're good to go. And it does it all for you. That still blows my mind. And to this day, when Javert and Tom are going away and they're, prepping for a tutorial or something, thanks, London. Whenever they go away and come up with some sort of experimental composite, now we're using Blender environments, Unreal environments, and you're taking a subject and you're just popping it in the middle of a 3D scene using green screen. I'm constantly amazed. That's the thing I love the most about HitFilm, and the fact that people can do pretty much whatever they want with it, depending on their imagination. My hair's on point. Thank you, Tony C. I have been. It was shaved off though, remember? So this is.
So is mine.
So absolutely, your hair looks great too. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That's the first thing I should have said. Your hair looks fantastic.
Thank you. Let's see here. Daphne thinks says, I still get away with just using the green screen preset. I know chroma key is more powerful, but it just shows how good the green screen capabilities are in HitFilm. And you know what? I do that too.
Yeah. If we were being a bit more business savvy, then we would have just focused on the chroma key. But if we've got it and you can access it with HitFilm Express, then why not? Because we know how many people love to stick themselves in a space station or middle of a desert and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I will always start with the green screen preset first.
Yeah.
And then I'll say, it looks pretty good. Maybe I'll just go with that. Or I'll say, I bet I could do a little better. I could do a little better. But, there you go. If you have any questions for Kirstie, put them in the comments. We'd love to hear, what you would like to know. He just had wrong one. I just had a COVID haircut recently, so Kirstie has more hair than I do, and it looks better too.
Wow, God, thanks. I mean, I am so used to just having no hair at all that it's too much. I can't I can't style it. I've forgotten how to be a girl. It's very upsetting.
Here it is. Truth be told, I always use the color difference key for the green screen. So there you go.
See, I'm learning so much today. Okay. Okay. Bear this in mind.
Yeah, definitely. What can we say? Questions for Kirstie? Let her know. Let's talk a little bit about the future of FXhome without giving away any secrets, of course. But tell me a little bit about the Pay What You Want program. How did that come about?
Oh my God, I'm so proud of the Pay What You Want program. So this is kind of when we started doing HitFilm Express and we made that for free. What we wanted to move from is creating software that was completely free to making a positive impact on the industry to then making a positive impact on the world. And it took us years. It really took us years to work out how best to do that. But eventually we were looking at things like Humble Bundle, and we realized that there was a smart way that we would be able to raise money for good causes and then also give people what they want. So it was actually a couple of comments that came through from somebody. I know it sounds like I'm making this up, but a couple of people said, look, I can't afford your add-ons. I can't afford HitFilm Pro, but I really love you guys and I would love to support you in a really small way. You know, with a couple of dollars or something. And we started getting more and more people doing that. And it was, of course, really sweet and very heartwarming. And we wanted to be able to give people the option to do that and then also get some goodies at the same time. So what we did is we had our add-on store and we decided to take some of those add-ons and make it into a small kind of a tier that you could purchase for $9, $19, $39 when downloading HitFilm Express. And so far, since January 2020, we have raised over $250,000 with our community for good causes around the world. So we're talking like planting trees, getting water to people all over the world, helping with the COVID situation in third world countries, just generally animals in captivity. We finally feel like we're able to make, with the generosity of the community, a positive impact on the entire world, you know, far beyond the video and photo industry, which I know for sure, because we were talking about this in our 20th anniversary. To Josh, that's just something that he's so proud of, and that we're just, it makes us feel all warm and fuzzy and lovely, that everyone's being so generous. And then also, hopefully, over time, we can extend those good causes to producing more money for them, but also maybe doing something which is exclusive to us, like having grants for FXhome, helping put people through university, you know, things that would make a positive impact to individual people's lives who are part of the community. That's what we really want to do. But it's taken a while to implement it, and it's going to take a while to get it perfect. But my God, the amount of positive change that our community has done in just a year just blows my mind.
Wow. That's wonderful. That is really exciting. You know, when I ran a karate school, that was part of our mission statement was to help make the community the best possible place to live. That was the exact words of part of my mission statement, to help make, and it was in Colorado Springs, Colorado. So help make Colorado Springs the best possible place to live. And that's what HitFilm, or what FXhome is doing, but making its worldwide thing. And that is just a remarkable thing.
Yeah, and it's totally down to the, you know, we also hit 6 million users recently, as you said, and it's totally down to all of those people jumping on board. You know, they may be downloading the free version of the software, but a couple of them are giving us a couple of dollars when they sign up, and that is making just a massive difference to the world. Oh gosh, I could talk about this for ages. Basically, we love it. We're so pleased that we were managed to implement it before COVID hit, because it meant that we were able to support some COVID-related charities through it as well. And yeah, it just meant that for us, 2020 had a lot of positivity with it, as well as obvious awfulness.
Yeah, what a bright spot though for 2020. And my policy is to be relentlessly positive. I had a friend who said, "You are the most relentlessly positive person I've ever met." You know, and I said, "Well, thank you." You know, and so to me, I look for bright spots. You know, that's how I'm wired. You know, I know a lot of people go out and try to look for things that are negative in life, but I look for the positives in everything. And I think martial arts is the reason for that, because, you know, I would work with teenagers, and I would say, my gosh, these teenagers are fantastic. I mean, they're wonderful people, you know, they are so with it. And people would go, "Oh, the teenagers, kids these days, you know." And I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, they're fantastic. They're vastly better than I ever was as a teenager. I'll tell you that. But, you know, and so to me, there's so much positivity in the world, and sometimes you just have to focus on that. And I think that the Pay What You Want program is one of the most positive things that I personally have been able to look at and focus and really just revel in, you know. And I just say, see, this is why the world is great, you know, why the world will be fine and everything will be good, you know, and why the world is good, you know, and that sort of thing. So
I think you, by the way, I think you should have that as your Twitter bio, or have it on a frame behind you or something.
Most
Look for the bright
relentlessly
spots.
positive. Here it is. I have it on a sticky note. Leading a life of, beyond relentlessly positive, beyond leading a life of excruciating ho-hummery. That's my personal ho-hummery. Yep. This is actually, there's a book I'm reading. It's called How to Be a Badass by Jen Cisnero.
Oh.
She's great. And she used the term excruciating ho-hummery. Don't live like that, And I'm like, that's it. That's there you go. That's the one.
So that's important for everyone in the comments. Look for the bright spots as well.
Look for the bright spots. All right. So here's some questions. Mike asks, that thing that I can't discuss, when's that coming out? All right. Next question. Here we go. How about marketing manager? Do you make the stuff for the social media promotions?
Ooh. If I did, they wouldn't be very good. I can tell you that. So when I first started at FXhome, I was working with one other person as part of the team, and then for a number of years it was just me, and I was doing everything. At which point nothing was very good. So if you look at the YouTube tutorials back maybe 4 years ago, and those appalling transitions and the terrible audio editing and all that stuff, that was me. But since then, because the audience has grown so much, we've been able to bring more people onto the marketing team, and such talented people. I mean, you guys know about Tom and Javert, who are on the channel every day. They also produce a lot of our imagery as well, because as you guys do, they use HitFilm for photo editing and compositing and things as well. And we've got Ollie, who's always willing to be acting and is such a great marketer. We've also got Stephen. I'm going to shout everyone out because they don't usually get the spotlight on. Yeah. Stephen and Hannah as well. Everyone is working so hard to try to get the voice of FXhome out there. And so I myself don't make stuff for social media promotions because I'm not a designer, but we do social media promotions, and we love to have a bit of creative brainstorm about them.
Yeah. Well, and you're in charge, so you just go.
That's exactly what I do. Yeah, there's no words involved. It's just.
That's what Javert told me.
Yeah. Oh well, he's not lying. A terrible communicator, really.
Let's see. Alexander says the thing that really hooked me on HitFilm was the compositing in the editor timeline.
Yeah, I mean that was a massively popular feature when we brought it out. We knew that, and so that's why we worked really hard on making sure that it was implemented in the software. I think people love the fact that it's all in one. Generally, the editing, the compositing, the 3D space, the motion graphics. When you don't have a large budget, or when you just don't have enough time to learn a bazillion different pieces of software, having one that allows you to do everything that you need is really important.
Totally. Talking about the pay what you want program, Mike says this right here is why FXhome is so awesome. I have to shout it out in caps. And I started buying small add-ons and ended up purchasing almost all of them. So I always recommend starting with the Express plus add-ons, and then see if HitFilm Pro suits more in the future. I think the idea of being able to have a free appetizer first, and then maybe a la carte, this and that. I'm just gonna have the whole 7-course meal. Come on, bring it over here, right? I think that's a brilliant marketing program. I really do, and I don't know. It was you that came up with that, I'm sure.
Well, what we wanted to do is make sure that people are able to use the add-ons in Express even if they haven't purchased them. So that's why it has a watermark, because of course we would never make any money that way. But you are able to use basically all of the pro features inside of Express if you want to try them out. And that was the thing that was really bugging us. We were like, we want to have a demo for the Express add-ons in the same way that we have a demo for HitFilm Pro. But it took a while for us to be able to kind of develop that in software. Luckily, we have a development team full of incredibly talented geniuses. So they surprise me every day with what they're able to do.
They are amazing. They are amazing.
Yeah.
All good things from good people. So proud of HitFilm Express. It has come a long way. And it has. I was messing around in HitFilm 3 Express. I was like, my gosh, I can't do this. I can't do that either. Hey, wait a minute. It's one of those things where you get shocked into saying, how did I do everything back then? I'm sure I figured it out, but it's so much easier. Every iteration of it is so much of an improvement over the other, and you forget how much it has been added to it and how much value is there.
Yeah, I mean, it still blows my mind. The guys at work, obviously being techies their whole life, they were able to tell us what it was like to try to firstly edit, upload videos to the internet, say, well, 20 years ago, I suppose, when we started the company, and how that compares to nowadays. And sometimes I don't have that experience myself, but I know that some people open up the software and they just take a minute and go, this is ridiculous that I can do all this in 20 seconds. Then I can upload it to YouTube, which will take a couple of minutes, and then that's it. The whole world can see it. It's madness. Yeah,
I did a lightsaber video back in 2002 where I had to paint every one. And it took months. I mean, it would take me, it took me about 40 minutes to do 2 seconds per lightsaber, right? And there were some shots where we had 4 lightsabers. We had one in each hand, and we're fighting. Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh! And now I could do that in like 5 minutes. And it at some point I say, you need, people need to understand the pain that we went through back in the day to be able to really appreciate what they have now. Because some people, they get mad. How come it takes 10 minutes for this thing to render? Man, I got places to go. I'm like, what, are you kidding? Are you serious?
Oh my gosh. I'd love to see that lightsaber video. But I mean,
I can show it to you.
Please. That's exactly the reason that FXhome was made. Is Josh's stepbrother was trying to do exactly that and paint in lightsabers, and just went, this is going to take me months.
Yeah.
And Josh went, I'll just write you a program for that, just casually.
That. Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
Just casually. And yeah, that's what FXhome was born out of. So it's really interesting that you had exactly the same experience.
Oh man, yeah, I'll show it to you. It's the devil went down to Georgia, but instead of fiddles, it's with lightsabers, and we're fighting.
Yeah.
Have you ever made any changes to the marketing department at FXhome since COVID?
Very good question. Yeah, so as you'll see, I'm not in our lovely office. I am working from home. So all of us based in the UK, of course, we had a period of lockdown, and we're back in another period of lockdown now. So everything had to be done from home, which is difficult when you're shooting YouTube videos, and Javert and Tom in particular had a tough time with trying to do things at home. I think we managed to work with it though. That's the joy of working with software that allows you to do stuff from home. But yeah, I think in terms of the marketing department, we were quite ready to be able to work from anywhere if we needed to. I think the developers had a more tough time in trying to get everything working, because they have to hook up to servers and do all sorts of fancy stuff. But they dedicated some time to it, got it sorted, and then we were back on track within really just a couple of days of knowing that we had to all go straight home and not go into the office.
That's awesome. I think that this comment is actually in relationship to the
Oh, Javert Theatre. There we go. Well, good.
All right, here's a question. Besides hiring Phil Wesson, what was your most proud moment during your 7 years at FXhome?
It was hiring Phil Wesson.
There you go.
I think I mean, I absolutely love the pay what you want stuff. The day that went out and the day that we started seeing donations already come into good causes, that was just a wonderful moment. But other than that, I think it was the YouTube channel. Because for a number of years we'd just been using YouTube as a place to host our videos, and we uploaded them every so often. But I went to VidCon, which you guys will know is the YouTube convention in LA, and got some really, really amazing ideas from those seminars and stuff, and came back and I was like, right, we got to use YouTube. We got to use the algorithm. This is where everybody is, and this is how people should be educated about what it is that we're doing. And we can make that whole experience so much better. So the first couple of tutorials were a bit like, oh God, especially because it was just me and Josh. We were doing it at the weekends, and I was editing them, which was an absolute nightmare. But off the back of that, after getting used to a regular weekly schedule, yeah, it's taken on legs of its own, and we haven't actually missed a single week since for like 4 years actually now, which is weird, but I love the YouTube channel. It's my baby, and yeah, I'm really, really pleased with the quality that we've got on there, and also just again how lovely of a YouTube community we have. People who I know go onto our videos and it's like, where are the trolls? I mean, this is not an invitation for any of you to go and troll me. Let me
Show
make
up.
that.
Well, here's Mike. How about that thing that Sensei, Tony C, and Spider Hank can't discuss? When is that coming out? All right, I'll show myself out now. And then Tony replies, yeah, Mike, stop. You just need to stop. That's it. That's it. Skynet is in the house from the whole French community. There's a very large group of users that speak French. And I get a lot of people who, ask me questions and their French is their language, and I send them to Skynet. I say, he speaks French. Ask, and he knows the software. So, that's fantastic. So
yeah. What's French for absolute legend? Because I'll start using that whenever.
Absolute legend. What is French for absolute legend? All right, Skynet, let us know. Hey, Farrah Films in the house. Good to see you. Let's see. I have a question. Whose idea was it to do the VFX prompt?
I think that was so once a week we have kind of a brainstorming meeting where we come up with some ideas for what we want to do on social, so that people have something fun to get involved with. And we were finding that we really wanted to see people try stuff out, and we also wanted to give away some Amazon vouchers because we knew that 2020 was a tough time for people, and if you needed some money for hardware, then we wanted to give people a chance to win it. So I gotta be honest, I can't remember who it was who came up with that idea, but it is a fantastic one. We've now made it a bi-weekly VFX prompt, but we've doubled the prize money. So if anyone wants to try to create something really cool, then please check out our Instagram and Facebook, because every 2 weeks we put on a little prompt for you guys to try, and you can win $100 for Amazon.
Yep, and it's also on your Twitter account as well.
Thank you.
And it is this VFX prompt is memory, the one that is currently being is the word memory. So something to do with memory, right? Don't ask me what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, we were trying to think of like, well, I wanted to do something around celebration, but when you say party or celebration, there's only so many things that conjures in your mind for visual effects. So just like memory's probably a bit more. You can do more with that.
Party.
In fact, socially distanced party.
That's right. Actually, it's just water. It's not coffee, and it's not anything stronger than water. Well, everybody in the comments, they always say that, oh, what do you get in the cup there, Sensei? So there is a tutorial competition that is ending tonight or tomorrow, something like that. I think it's tomorrow. And that is a pretty good idea. What's that all about?
Yeah, so I told you just before we started getting everyone in the comments, that was something which Javert came up with, which was a really, really great idea, something we wanted to run with. We know that people create amazing content using the software, and we know that people create amazing tutorials, but it's difficult for us to find them sometimes. So we decided we were going to run a really big competition where we asked people to pitch tutorials for us. And so far we've had some really, really exciting submissions for that competition, and we are wanting to do more competitions in the future as well. But the idea being that if you win, then you win a bunch of money, you win a bunch of prizes, and then also we put that tutorial up on our channel, and it can reach the 250,000 subscribers we now have, which is pretty good. It's a pretty good audience. So yeah, that's really, really exciting. And the deadline is very soon. Is there anyone in the comments who submitted something? Hey, awesome. Well, I haven't seen that yet, but I know that Hannah's looking at all of them. So
I only submitted 7.
that's only a small amount. Yeah, you're all good.
I figured, well, I might as well just throw a few in there and see if anything that you like anything. So there you go.
Absolutely.
All right,
Well,
we have reached the point in the show where I'm going to ask Kirstie some questions that she gets to answer. And we have not coached any of these questions at all, just so you know.
God.
None of them. All right. Oh, good. Oh, perfect. Okay. Now
this is for the 20th anniversary. I've just realized it's here.
The 20th anniversary. Here it is. All right. Question number 1. What is your favorite movie?
Titanic. Is that awful?
No, that's great.
I can't get over Titanic. They released the alternate ending online a couple of weeks ago. Did anyone see that? Don't watch it. But also I do love World's Greatest Dad. In fact, that was the answer that got me my job for FXhome, because they asked me that in the interview. Because they're all into superheroes and Star Wars, and they wanted something a bit different. So I gave them a hipster film. Nice. And they went, okay, great. We'll have someone a bit strange.
Perfect. That's awesome. What's your favorite TV show?
At the moment, Killing Eve.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Yeah,
it's very good. I'm only a couple of episodes in as well.
What book are you reading right now?
I am reading
one of those books on the shelf back there, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh, what am I reading? Oh, On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong, which is a mouthful, but beautiful. So very excited by that one.
That is pretty cool. All right, who is the most famous person you've ever met?
Oh God, Mark Ruffalo, but I made a fool of myself.
Oh, this sounds like a story.
It was funnily enough, it was actually at VidCon, and he was there with his son. His son does YouTube. So you were on the business level, so he was trying to stay disguised. And Andrea, who works for FXhome as a COO, absolutely loves Mark Ruffalo. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna get you introduced to Mark Ruffalo, and we're gonna make this an amazing moment. And I just lost all ability to speak, and I ended up shaking his little finger, Jay, instead of his hand. He had stuff in his hand like this, and he kind of went, "Oh, sorry, I can't." And I just went, "That's okay. I'll just shake your finger." And then kind of backed away, and his bodyguard went to us, "Hey, look, he doesn't want to be noticed, so just be cool." And we were like, dude, we're the coolest. You don't have to tell us. And then there was that car crash of an experience. It was terrible. I've just relived it.
That's so funny.
It's awful.
That's hysterical. All right. So where's the furthest place you've ever traveled?
Actually, in 2019, I sailed to Antarctica. So FXhome gave me a 2-month sabbatical, which was very, very generous of them. And I sailed from Argentina to Antarctica and then to South Africa on a tall ship.
Wow. That is pretty cool. Well,
it was pretty cool.
Not many people can say they've been to Antarctica. That's pretty cool.
I tell you what, man, the seasickness was real. It was a 52-day journey, and I was bedridden for 10 of them. But it's fine. It was fine.
Yeah. It was worth it, right?
It was worth it, definitely.
Oh, that's really cool. So when you're not working, what kind of hobbies do you do?
I do, even though I couldn't remember what book I was reading there. I do love to read, I promise. And
Sure you do.
Yeah, and I do like writing. I do like writing as well, but I do a bit of volunteering for mental health charity, which is also really important to me. But FXhome takes a lot out of you. There's just so much for you to get involved with, and also I work with my friends. So some of the people in the comments will know we play a lot of VR together, and that is Oculus Quest, and Echo VR. That's our jam.
Oh, that's exciting. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. Who is your favorite YouTuber?
Yeah, so absolutely. There's this guy, I don't know if you've heard of him, called Film Sensei. He's not.
That's so nice of you to say. We didn't coach that. I'm just saying.
I couldn't make it work. I broke halfway through. Sorry, man. But favorite YouTuber, I guess the one that I watch most often. I've already said you.
Oh. Besides me.
Apart from Film Sensei, of course, who you should all subscribe to immediately if you haven't already subscribed to him. I do enjoy it's quite a small YouTube channel, but a girl who's just taken off and started living in the mountains and has built her own tiny house and is self-sufficient farming. I find that so relaxing to watch. All of her stuff is great. I can't even remember her name, but
that's very cool. That is, you can basically be a YouTuber about anything, I think,
absolutely. And you'll find your community somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. The world's a big place, but there are lots of people who are just like you, so you can find your jam, with those people. So
have you ever been tempted to do a martial arts YouTube channel?
No. I have been training in the martial arts for 39 years now. And I have, thrown millions of kicks and punches and, gotten slammed on the ground, thousands and thousands of times. And I am, I'm old now, and, my knees hurt and, my hips hurt and that kind of stuff. So I'm like, I just can't, I couldn't imagine going back to that life. I mean, I was literally teaching, 60 classes a week, for years. And it was so much. And I loved every minute of it. Don't get me wrong. It was fantastic. But now I teach 3 classes a week because I want to, not because I have to. And I love it. And it's like perfect. And then I spend the rest of my time with my family and, doing other things. But I don't want to ever go back into that much of a grind again. So no, it would be too much of a grind for me, I think. If I were to do something like that, it would be like, a tutorial channel that would be somewhat sparse, in terms of what, the lessons that I throw out there. But I don't know, maybe. All right. What is your, out of all of the FXhome short films and sketches, which one's your favorite?
I thought you were going to ask me which my favorite FXhome person was.
No.
Who is your favorite?
Of course, that would be Josh. I mean, come on.
Sure, absolutely.
Without any question. Happy birthday, FXhome.
My favorite sketch that we've ever done, I think, has to be Rebellion. Just because that was the very first one that I helped produce, and it was the first time that we'd done a big shoot. So obviously we want to show people that it's possible to do anything on any budget, but because sometimes we want to perfect masterclasses, we do put a little bit of money behind it. And to be able to shoot in a bunker on a military base with stormtrooper costumes and drones, and me and Josh spent like 3 weeks every weekend prior to that creating props, which was so much fun. And yeah, I was really pleased with how it came out, but also the experience itself was really fun. And I only hope that going forward we can have more of those larger projects, and we can invite members of the community in to do various like roles, so that, you know, it's not just us going, this is what we want. It's like, no, hey, we're bringing in somebody as a director, somebody else as a cinematographer, somebody else wants to do audio. That would be the dream, community-led project, which I think I saw something on the forum on Friday about some of you guys maybe doing a collaborative project together.
Maybe. Yeah, we last week's live stream, I did we were just chatting, and Chris, What Chef from Australia, said, "Hey, I have an idea," and so I said, "All right, I'll throw it up on the forum and see what happens." And now a week later, we are well on our way. We are moving forward with that. So it's going to be very exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. We'll talk more about that as we get closer to it. But we already have a time schedule, and people are working on their parts right now. You know,
that's
already.
amazing.
It is. It's unbelievable. 1 week, and there it goes. The community is really something. And I know you guys say it all the time, but I'm going to say it. The community is one of the best things about FXhome.
Oh, I think so too.
Totally. So I have, let's see, if you have we are down to our last 10 minutes here, because we are going to be done at an hour, because Kirstie I promised her it'd be an hour, and I'm going to work out after we're done. So I have to be done.
I am not going to work out after we're done. I'm going to
Let me see. So ask your question now if you have a question, and I'm going to start with, have you ever thought about doing a writing competition?
I would love to do a writing competition. In fact, I follow a couple of channels. There's a British channel called Tom Scott on YouTube, and they do comedy sketches, and they do competitions for their audience to write the comedy sketch, and then they act it out. And something like that, I think, would be really fun. I think it's just coming up with the right project that gives you guys enough time to actually write a script that is kind of has enough flavor to it. At the moment, we do, certainly during COVID, we're kind of sticking to smaller, high quality things. Whereas hopefully by the time we get out of lockdown, we'll be doing larger projects, and something like that I would love to do. So it's in my mind, Daft Things, constantly being marinated on.
Okay, how about this one? Where does FXhome see themselves in 5 years?
Sky's the limit. I mean, there's a number of things which are happening at the moment, which is incredibly exciting for us. Unfortunately, they're not things that I would get shot for talking about. But I think the thing that's become really obvious to us over the last couple of years is that it is our community who drive everything that we do. And what we want to make sure that we're doing is being as innovative as we can with the tech that we're providing people. So we might be kind of, we've released CamTrak AR recently, which we're really passionate about, and which helps to kind of make the workflow more efficient for filmmakers. If you haven't checked that out, it is free, and you can get it on the Apple Store. Great fun, promise. That kind of innovative tech, that's really where we want to be going in terms of being industry leaders, really. I think a lot of people make this comparison between us and Adobe, but we're trying to do, with the highest respect to Adobe for who they are, we're trying to do something different, I think. We're trying to provide something that is really exciting and cool. And we've got so many ideas, and we've got so many fantastic people who we want to work with and who now want to work with us. And for us, the most important thing is making sure that you guys get the value for money that you need, and that we're putting more and more back into the community to try to, I know it sounds really businessy, but kind of complete our mission statement, which is essentially just to give people freedom, freedom of creativity as much as we possibly can. So if we can make that process easier, and if we can bring cool people on board while we're doing it, then that's what it's going to be.
That's fantastic. That's great. All right. If you could work on the set of any movie that you've seen, what would it be?
Working on the set. Star Wars. I think just for the pure ability to say that I've been there and I've seen the costumes and the environments and stuff. I mean, I know that a lot of the recent things like The Mandalorian have been done using the Unreal Engine, so there's not a huge amount to actually see there on set, but just to see that tech working, I think would be really cool.
Yeah.
How about you, Film Sensei?
Yeah, Star Wars. Star Wars is my everything. Yeah, no, that's
Yes.
But the parallax LED screens, you know, the virtual sets are astonishing, and I would just love to see how that worked. You know, because I think that is the coolest thing ever. You know, I mean, it would make. So if that could become more mainstream, that would be, and you know, I mean, Ryan Conley over at Film Riot has done a little bit on this. You know, if that could become more mainstream, that would totally democratize the process of making films, because really anybody could make almost any kind of film that they ever wanted to make. You know, they wouldn't be limited by, you know, sets and things like that. I mean, it would be I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. I know you guys are working on CamTrak AR for Android. Is that any time in the horizon?
So we are talking to Google about being able to pull that over onto Android. The problem is the Apple hardware contains LiDAR, which is required for CamTrak AR to properly track the scene. So without that tech present in Android phones, it's not something that we're able to easily port across, or if we did, it would just work terribly, and you guys would be like, well, this doesn't work, so what's the point?
Right.
So we are in conversations with people we know. I mean, we have so many PC users in comparison to Mac users, and similarly, we want to be able to give that tech for people using Android. To be fair, when we first started developing CamTrak AR, it was an experiment. It was like Josh trying to make the process of his stepbrother's lightsabers more efficient. We were like, we want to just be able to track the scene really easily. We're going to see if we can make a piece of software to do it. Did it, went, oh my God, cool. All right, well, let's release this to everybody else because we think it would be really fun. And Apple was all it worked on. So in the future, absolutely, we are having conversations, and we hope very much to be able to expand into Android. But currently, it's just not there in the hardware. So we're waiting on that.
All right. Yeah, that's okay. You know, hey, that's what we're here to ask. All right, Frank asks, any marketing tips for a regular old artist?
Oh God, am I going to sound really like, if I say just be authentic? No, I think so at the moment, I think the YouTube algorithm is playing a number on a lot of people. Certainly we have seen that the algorithm is not being too kind to our content, and we know from talking to other people in the industry, like the Film Rights of the World and things, the algorithm is just not really pushing stuff in the same way that it used to. So while it's a really important platform for video marketing, I do think that it's the time to start expanding into other platforms. So for example, depending on your audience, Spider-Hank, I mean, I've got my eye on TikTok at the moment. And we did a couple of TikToks last year, which were great fun and we loved doing. But it fell down our priority list, so we didn't manage to do a huge amount with it. But other platforms, that which are kind of taking off at the moment, I think are going to be really important going forward. Until, you know, the best part of a platform is until the big dogs get to it and put an algorithm in that doesn't reward anyone but a business that pumps it with money. So get in TikTok while it's hot, look out for the next platform, and try to become one of the first creators who really make an impact on there. And I know it's good to say in retrospect, but I do think that is one of the best things that you can do going forward. We've got some visual effects artists working on TikTok at the moment who are big. What's up?
What's up?
Who are really big and are doing well. So.
All right. Well, again, I want to thank you for being here today. It has
Thank
been
you for having me.
Just delightful. How can somebody get in touch with FXhome if they want to show something off, or they want to ask a question, or they want to, you know, whatever?
So many different ways. So as I mentioned, we do have a YouTube channel. We have an Instagram account. We got the Twitters, the Facebooks going on. If you want to show us something cool that you've worked on, you can send us an email to nottobragbut@fxhome.com. But it's it's a bit of a weird email. I should probably change that because it's really difficult to spell. But you can get hold of us through our support system. We're pretty vocal, and we spend a lot of time on social, so you can get hold of us in multiple different ways, and you should as well. We have some really exciting stuff coming up. We have a update to HitFilm coming up very soon, which our beta testers are now looking at, which has got some really cool stuff in it. We've got an Ignite update as well for the plugins. That update is going to blow people's minds. I cannot wait until show off at FXhome.com.
I knew that.
Oh no,
they changed it on you because it was hard to spell the other one, not to brag,
exactly.
but so.
And I just didn't remember.
I just tell people to go get in touch with Phil. You know, Phil, you talk to Phil. Yeah.
Either way. But yes, you're totally right. See, this is why I love the community. They will correct me if I get something wrong. But yeah, so we've got a HitFilm update coming out. Ignite. Oh my gosh, you guys. You're going to be so excited by what's coming to Ignite. And Emerge is getting an update very soon as well. So the next couple of months are going to be really cool. And I can't wait to see what you do with it. Meaning of life at FXhome. You know, that's how we found Tom. Tom Cowles sent an email to meaningoflife@fxhome.com just to say, hey, I'm around and I don't know what to do with my visual effects skills. And now he's been with us for a year and a bit. So
yeah, and he's great.
Email, absolutely.
He's fantastic. Well, again, I would like to thank you for being here, and it's just been a pleasure. Love to have you come back. Next week on the Live with Sensei, I will be revisiting the YouTube channels that I looked at 4 weeks ago, and I'm going to look and see who made changes to their YouTube channel based on what I suggested. And spoiler alert, I already know who has. I actually looked at 9 different channels, but I'm only going to review 8 because one of them doesn't have any subscriber data out there. So I'm going to look at the 8, and I can tell you that 4 of them made changes and 4 did not. So that's pretty nice. And then I'm going to look and see whether those changes did anything. And spoiler alert, I already have looked and I already know what the changes are. And I can tell you it's pretty exciting. So next week I will, I'm a marketing. I actually do have a degree in marketing. So, which means I actually sort of know what I'm talking about there. So 4 weeks ago, I did a thing where I've reviewed YouTube channels, and now I'm going to go back and look at them and see how those changes have affected those channels. And I went through them all already, and I'm telling you, even I was surprised. So,
if you come to 4K Productions comment, that's really cool.
Yeah. Wait. This one here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I noticed Terry did his too, and it is double the subscribers in a month. I believe it. I believe it. I'll go take a look at yours. That's fantastic. I love it. So, all right. And with that, we will go ahead and sign off. Again, thank you so much. Do you have any last word that you'd like to say?
Just this has been so much fun. I would love to come back on at some other point and talk more about general filmmaking, FXhome and stuff. I could talk for hours, as I'm sure you can, as I'm sure you can tell. But yeah, this is great. I love the fact that you're doing these live streams, and it seems like you're already making a really positive difference for loads of people. So
thank you.
Go, yeah.
Well, thank you. Actually, I am in 2 weeks. I'm going to do a game show. A game show. Yes, I'm going to do a game show. So I'll invite you now, and I'll invite anybody else who wants to come and play on my game show. We're going to do game show, and it's going to be really fun. I actually have already tested it with my family. We played a whole game show with my family, and they had a ball. So I think it'll be real fun. This is something I wanted to try, doing a live game show on live stream. So 2 weeks from today will be a game show. Anybody who's interested, get in touch with me. Would love to have you on the game show. All right. Thank you so much. And we will look forward to seeing everybody next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.